Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Hammer. Today is Monday, December 11th, 2023. Of course, with Originator Success here with your mortgage rate update, the only place on the web where you guys get to be part of the conversation. Appreciate you joining me. Remember, you can join me live each and every day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, either through Facebook or on YouTube Live. If you're watching on the replay, do me a favor, give us a hashtag replay in the comments. Let us know that you were here. Don't forget to smash that like button, tag an LO friend, share us in the group. If you're on Facebook, don't forget to subscribe. Give us the thumbs up. That stuff does help us to spread the word. Remember, you can sign up for our written lock advice, www.ratelockadvice.com. In fact, you can go ahead and get a cool QR code right here on the screen and check us out at originatorssuccess.com. You can also sign up for our text alerts at www.ratetextalerts.com. Last but not least, check us out at originatorssuccess.com. Find out how you can get more loans from Google and social media. Also, I do have that cool sign up for I have to make a little thing for it here. In fact, let me go ahead and do that real quick. Let me make a QR code here. Let me add to this HTTP hmmr.io/live reminder. Next. Sign up for live text reminders. Be notified daily as Hammer goes live. All right, so for now, we're just going to go ahead and, it needs an image. All right, hold on a minute. Let's put an image. Let's upload an image. What images do I have? Do I have any images? That's not an image. That's not an image. Come on, give me some images. I need an image. Bear with me. I should have had this all done. I know. I think we can come up with a new image. Hold on a minute. There we go. Hey. All that and it didn't even work. All right. Anyway, I'll get it set up. Stop screwing around, Hammer. I know. Sorry, y'all. How was your weekend, by the way? How did everyone go? I was at Helen, Georgia with the wife. We had a really good time. We had a fun time. It rained like a son of a dog, but that's okay. We had fun. And anyway, Ron Siegel, we need some Hanukkah hammer. I know, my man. I'll get you a Hanukkah hammer. Let's see. Denise, Mallory, Deb, Robert. Good to see all of you here. All right. I've killed enough time. Let's jump into the good stuff here. Let me flip this back on. Mortgage-backed securities down about 13 basis points on the day. Rate sheets today, though, should be very similar to what we saw on Friday. You can see here as pricing came out on Friday around 10 a.m., mortgage bonds were around 100.60-ish, 100.69, 100.67. Right now we're down, 8 basis points from where we were on Friday. Not enough to get worked up about by any means. Certainly not enough to get worried about. As far as a quick recap, bonds improved. You can see it here. Bonds improved quite a bit. Remember, we had that knee-jerk reaction to the jobs data, 8:30 a.m., but we were already down on the day. That was what kind of did us in. And then we were down. We hit a low point after the data, and it was basically here. We were 100.34. And then we rebounded. We ended the day up 100.72. I mean, you're talking a wonderful recovery after that jobs data, which it's important for us to see that, because what that really means is it means that bonds were shrugging off that data and not getting quite as worked up about it. If we look at the Fed futures, though, this will tell us a story about kind of what that expectation was and where that brought things. Let's see. Let me turn this back on. All right, so after we got that data, right now, expectations of a Fed rate hike, they're still zero. We're going to get that Fed meeting, by the way, on Wednesday this week, followed by Fed Chair Jerome Powell's press conference. We'll talk more about this. But after that jobs data, the idea of a March hike lost some wind in the sails. That's what we lost. Today, though, Reprice risk today is low. It's unlikely we have too much to worry about today. We could see bonds lose a little bit of ground, not enough that I'm extremely worried about that at all. We have the 10-year Treasury auction at 1 p.m. Eastern time. We'll want to keep an eye on that. Hold on, I got to turn the heater off. Getting a little too warm. All right. I always like to make it toasty in my office. Anyway, reprice risk today is low. We are going to have a 10-year Treasury auction at 1 p.m. That 10-year Treasury yield right now, 4.266. Yesterday or Friday, it ended at 4.23. It hit a low point of 4.11, and that was as low as we go. You can see it is bouncing back from here. You can see that we're getting that bit of a swing up. We're starting to lose some ground here. So the outlook remains that the worst is behind us, that rates are going to improve, but this rally may be losing steam. We really did get some setback from Friday's jobs data and having that come in. It really didn't come in that much higher than what was out there, but it was enough that it kind of shook things up. If we don't get some help tomorrow morning from the CPI inflation data and the Fed meeting on Wednesday, then you can stick a fork in the rally and you'll want to start, locking things up. That does put us in a position where we want to cautiously float. Like I said, Friday did set us back a bit. But I'm still bullish. We could really pull this thing out if we get a decent inflation report tomorrow, especially it's going to depend on that core inflation. Now, what's not in core is going to be the energy prices, gasoline prices. Gas prices have come down, so that's going to help the headline number. They were coming down in November, and they're continuing to come down in December. Oil prices, despite what's going on over in Israel and the Gaza Strip, oil prices have been actually very good. So that's helped us. As far as loans go, though, loans that have less than 15 days, they're the ones that have the most risk. And they should at least consider locking right now, just because we have seen where you see right here, we've seen the bottom for the 10-year Treasury yield. Now, it could go like this. It could go like we did here and then drop again. It could go here and then drop again. It's all going to depend on tomorrow's CPI inflation data and then the Fed meeting. Remember, when we look at the Fed futures, right, expectations of a Fed hike tomorrow are zero. No one if the Fed were to raise rates tomorrow, it would shock the markets and it would be crazy. It's not going to happen, right? 0% chance we're going to get a Fed rate hike tomorrow. Even though this says 1.6% chance, it's zero. However, speculation of what's going to happen in March. Now, if y'all remember, the last dot plot in October at October's meeting, the Fed had anticipated one more rate hike than what we've had. So they actually the Fed futures were pricing in two more rate hikes for the year. We only got one. So we're going to get a new dot plot with the Fed meeting on Wednesday, and markets are going to be looking for that and to see what the Fed is expected for 2024 for rates to be in at the end of 2025. It's unlikely that the Fed throws in the white towel and says, hey, we're going to cut rates like crazy. Right now, markets are pricing in about 4 rate cuts of 1/4 point each by the end of the year. Right now, we're at 5.25. Markets are basically, the overwhelming belief is we're going to be at 4.25, maybe 1.25 cuts, right? 125 basis points of cuts to bring us to 4. That's what's currently, that's over 50% of the expectation on where we're going to end the year next year. As far as where we get to by June, they're expecting 5 or maybe even 4.75. If we see these numbers improve, if we see speculation that the Fed is going to have to cut rates improve, it's going to help rates to go ahead and move a little bit better from here. But otherwise, looking here, we're a little bit off the lows. We were at 7.04, 7.05. Now Mortgage News Daily showing 7.09, but that's right back where we were last Friday. Not the Friday just passed, but a week ago Friday. We started last week a little bit higher than where we ended the week. So we basically, rates were unchanged from the week before. They were a little higher to start, improved, and then went back up a little bit. So, but overall, it's really not that big of a move. I mean, we've seen rates in these low sevens. I do think we have a good shot of seeing rates in the 6s. We need to get some, it's all going to depend on tomorrow's CPI inflation data. Really great write-up in Reuters this morning about what's going on with everything and markets. Also, remember, we do have overseas central banks. We've got I think Bank of England, the European Central Bank, and what is it? The Bank of Japan. There are 3 other banks that, let's see if they're in. Where did I read that? I read so much crap in the morning. I forgot where I read it. S&P 500. I'm looking for. So we've got Japan here, blah, blah, blah. Where is the other central bank cuts? I don't remember. I don't remember if I read it in the Wall Street Journal, but there's a lot of action going on. Let's see if they've got it on the radar calendar. They're usually pretty good about putting that stuff on there. Let's see if they've got it on the calendar here. Bank of England, European Central Bank, Swiss National Bank are all going to be there. Tomorrow morning, by the way, we're going to get a coupon bond rollover. Don't get all freaked out about that. Anyway, this is what we got going on. A lot of that. So now it wasn't Canada. Yes, sir. Thank you, though. I don't think it was Canada. I think it was the Swiss National Bank. These are the 2 big ones, the European Central Bank and Bank of England. Those are going to be the big ones that everyone's going to be watching. So I think we're in an okay spot, though. I don't think we have to worry about it. Again, tomorrow's data, though, is going to come out in the morning. If right now, I think core, they were looking for 4.0. Last thing I looked at here, let's see. Rate debate. Multiple Euro region economies are shrinking. Homeowners in countries like Canada were floating, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, I'm just looking to see. The most important question facing investors next year is not whether the Federal Reserve will cut rates, but why. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they're not really saying much on this one. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I don't want to go too long today. Again, the advice, cautiously float. Anything closing near term, you really have to decide how much risk tolerance do you have? How much risk tolerance does the loan the consumer have, of course? Do you want to float into tomorrow's data? I would. It's risky. It's got some risk, but I would. Because we saw a really strong reaction after the labor data, but then bonds improved to better than they were when that data came out. Remember, if we take a look here, we see on a 2-day, let's move this over to a 2-day, right? I mean, look at here. Let's make this nice and big and let's zoom in on this for you. All right. I mean, looking at this, that labor market data came out here and we were up all afternoon. I don't think that we have to worry, even if we get a weaker than wanted reaction to the inflation data tomorrow, we have a good shot of recovering. Again, the loans that you have to most worry about, loans that are closing near term, if they're close to DTI, if they're people that are really, let's face it, we're talking about rates in the low 7s. We were just in the 8s 6 weeks ago. So if someone wants to lock it up, there's nothing wrong with locking it up. But again, we're really going to be watching what happens over the next couple of days. We got the Fed meeting on Wednesday. Fed Chair Jerome Powell's press conference going to be a very big deal. And, we'll see where the inflation data comes in tomorrow, the press conference, the Fed meeting on Wednesday. That's all going to really tell us where rates go for the rest of December. Anusha said bond auction today is another major driver. No, it hasn't been. I mentioned it as something that's possible for reprice risk today, Anusha, but it's not that big of a mover. 10-year Treasury yields still significantly low. We should see a decent demand. Everyone pretty much knows where they're going with this and expectations. So the 10-year Treasury auctions at 1 p.m. And like I did put it on here. Where is it? Let's see. Here you go. So reprices risk today. I still think it's low. I don't think we really have to worry about. I don't think we have to worry about the 10-year Treasury auction. I don't think it'll shake things up. It's not going to improve things too much. We could get a little bit of improvement this afternoon. It could pull us out of being in. Right now we're down a little bit, down about 15 basis points here. If we take a look at what's going on, it could improve us from here. But overall, I don't think it's much we really have to worry about at that 1 p.m. mark. So. All right, my friends, I'm going to wrap it up. You guys, thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate you being here. Tomorrow morning, make sure you join me 9:30 a.m. We'll be talking about what's going on, what we get for that inflation reading, and setting us up for that Fed meeting. We'll be talking a lot more about the Fed meeting tomorrow. So I'll talk to you tomorrow, everybody. Make it a fantastic day. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.